In the grim darkness of the far future, where countless species wage eternal war across the stars, one race stands apart in its singular devotion to conflict, the Orcs. Yet beneath their seemingly mindless violence lies a complex social structure that has puzzled Imperial scholars for millennia. At the heart of this structure lie the clans, massive confederations of warriors bound by tradition, culture, and an inexplicable genetic coding that drives them to seek out others of their kind. The concept of Orcish clans transcends mere tribal allegiance. It is woven into the very fabric of their being, encoded in the fungal DNA that births each new Orc into existence. From the moment a young Orc emerges from its spore pod, it carries within itself an instinctive understanding of its clan's ways, whether it be the speed-obsessed Evil Sons, the pyromanic Burna Boys, or the methodical Death Skulls. This inheritance is both a blessing and a curse, driving the Orcs to ever greater acts of violence while simultaneously providing the structure that prevents their society from collapsing into complete anarchy. Imperial records tell of countless worlds where Orc clans have established themselves, each developing distinct characteristics based on their chosen specialization. On the Forge world of Armageddon, the Goth clan's brutal close combat specialists turned entire hive cities into bloody battlegrounds. In the void around Port Maw, speed freaks of the Evil Sons transformed asteroid belts into deadly racing circuits. The Bad Moon's wealthy war bands have been known to outbid rogue traders for exotic weapons, while Blood Axes have demonstrated an unsettling ability to adopt Imperial military tactics. Yet, perhaps most intriguing is how these clans, despite their seemingly chaotic nature, maintain coherent identities across vast distances of space and time. An Orc from a Bad Moon's warband in the Ultima Segmentum will instantly recognize and understand the customs of Bad Moons encountered in the Gothic sector, despite having never met them before. This phenomenon, dubbed cultural mimetic persistence by Ordo Xenos researchers, suggests a deeper mechanism at work than mere learned behavior. The mystery deepens when one considers that Orc clans are not static entities. They evolve, adapt, and sometimes even spawn new subcultures. The emergence of the freebooters, piratical Orcs who have broken away from traditional clan structures while simultaneously maintaining elements of their original clan cultures, demonstrates the complexity of Orcish social dynamics. These variations and adaptations suggest that clan structure serves a vital purpose in Orc society, one that goes beyond simple organization or combat efficiency. Understanding why Orcs need clans is not merely an academic exercise. It is crucial to comprehending how this seemingly primitive species has managed to become one of the most persistent and dangerous threats to the Imperium. The clan system enables Orcs to rapidly organize massive Wa'achses, coordinate complex military operations, and maintain technological knowledge across generations. It is a sophisticated social technology disguised as barbaric tribalism, and its effectiveness has been proven countless times across 10,000 years of galactic history. Among the countless stars scattered across the war-torn galaxy, 6 major Orc clans dominate the narrative of their species. Each embodies distinct philosophies that shape their approach to warfare, technology, and social structure. The Goths, renowned for their uncompromising dedication to traditional Orcish values, believe that victory comes through overwhelming force and unrelenting aggression. Under the leadership of legendary war bosses like Gazkul Thraka, they've transformed this simple doctrine into devastating military campaigns that have brought entire sectors to their knees. In stark contrast, the Evil Sons approach warfare with an almost religious devotion to speed and momentum. Their mechs labor endlessly to create ever-faster vehicles, from the nimble war buggies to the thundering Stompa war machines. The clan's most revered figure, the legendary Speed King Wazdaka Gutsmek, achieved near-mythical status after riding his heavily modified warbike through the core of a Chaos Titan, emerging from the other side trailing flames and glory. The Bad Moons stand apart from their brethren through their inexplicable ability to generate teeth, the orcish currency, faster than other clans. This biological quirk has led to the development of a pseudo-aristocracy within Orc society, where Bad Moon war bosses flaunt their wealth through elaborately decorated armor and experimental weaponry. Their excess extends to hiring mercenary armies of freebooters and outfitting entire whacks with advanced technology that other clans can only dream of possessing. Death Skulls occupy a unique niche within Orc society as master scavengers and improvisational engineers. Their mechs possess an intuitive understanding of technology that transcends normal Orcish knowledge, allowing them to repurpose everything from Imperial tanks to Eldar weaponry. This talent has made them both valued allies and dreaded rivals, as their tendency to acquire equipment extends to their fellow Orcs' possessions. The Blood Axes have earned both respect and suspicion for their willingness to study and adopt human military tactics. Unlike other clans that reject un-Orcy behavior, Blood Axes embrace concepts like retreat, camouflage, and even diplomacy when it serves their purposes. Their understanding of Imperial military doctrine has made them particularly dangerous opponents, capable of combining Orcish ferocity with strategic sophistication. Snakebites represent the conservative element of Orc society, rejecting advanced technology in favor of traditional methods of warfare. Their mastery of squig breeding has produced living weapons of tremendous variety, from the massive squiggoths that serve as living battle tanks to the deadly attack squigs that hunt in packs alongside Orc warriors. The clan's shamans, known as Weird Boys, maintain ancient traditions that may date back to the species' creation by the Old Ones. Beyond these major clans, numerous smaller factions carve out their own niches in the galactic conflict. The freebooters, while technically clanless, have developed their own distinct culture that blends elements from various clans with void-faring traditions. Their most notorious captain, Badruk, commands a fleet that has terrorized shipping lanes across multiple sectors, earning him the title Flash-Git King for his collection of modified weapons. The emergence of specialized subcultures within clans adds another layer of complexity to Orc society. The Burna Boys, while found in all clans, form a distinct brotherhood united by their obsession with promethium-fueled destruction. Similarly, the Commandos, most commonly associated with Blood Axes, have developed their own unique traditions and tactics that set them apart from their parent clan. The interaction between these various groups creates a dynamic ecosystem of violence and innovation. When multiple clans unite under a powerful war boss, their combined strengths can produce military forces of staggering capability. The infamous Gazkul demonstrated this during the Third War for Armageddon, where his ability to coordinate forces from multiple clans transformed what might have been a simple raid into one of the greatest conflicts in Imperial history. The arch-arsonist of Sharadon roared in triumph as another Imperial fortress erupted in flames. His warband's pyromaniacs, clad in their signature red armor scorched black from countless infernos, surged forward through the breach. This wasn't mere destruction, it was the birth of a tradition. Every successful burning reinforced their identity, drew more pyromaniac orcs to their banner. In time, they would become known as the Burna Boys, one of the first specialized groups that would shape the future of Orc society. Across the stars, mech boss Grimrook Titanbreaker led his crew of engineering savants in dismantling a fallen Imperial knight. His keen eyes spotted patterns in the machinery others missed, an instinctive understanding that would birth the Death Skulls clan's obsession with scavenging and technology. Each successful salvage operation attracted more mechanically inclined orcs, creating a natural convergence of similar minds and talents. Deep in the beast-infested jungles of Calverna Sixx, war boss Ugrok discovered that his boys fought better alongside the local predators. Through trial and error, he developed methods to breed and control these creatures, laying the foundation for what would become the Snakebites clan. His success sparked a movement among orcs who felt a deeper connection to the primitive aspects of their nature. The void fields of Port Maw witnessed the rise of speed boss Zapdaka, whose obsession with velocity transformed warfare. His innovations in vehicle design and racing culture attracted speed-obsessed orcs from across the sector, naturally forming the core of what would become the Evil Sons. Each victory won through lightning-fast strikes reinforced their belief in the power of speed. In the trading hubs of the Gothic sector, Flashgit's Captain Badruk demonstrated how wealth could translate into power. His ability to acquire and modify the finest weapons drew together orcs whose teeth grew faster than others, creating the foundation of the Bad Moons clan. Their combined wealth allowed them to experiment with technologies other orcs could only dream of. The most influential figure emerged during the Age of Apostasy, Commander Blackblitz of the Blood Axes. His study of human warfare wasn't seen as weakness, but innovation. By incorporating Imperial tactics into orcish warfare, he created a new path that attracted similarly pragmatic orcs, proving that un-orky thinking could lead to victory. These pioneers didn't just establish clans, they created living traditions that would reshape orc society. Each leader's success attracted like-minded individuals, forming natural groupings based on shared interests and abilities. As these groups grew, they developed distinct cultures, battle cries, and traditions that would be passed down through countless generations. The process wasn't always peaceful. The early days saw brutal conflicts between different philosophies. The Goths, led by the legendary warlord Grimskull Ironjaw, violently opposed any deviation from traditional orcish combat. Yet even their resistance helped define clan identities as groups united in opposition to their orthodox views. Perhaps most fascinating was the role of the Weird Boys in this period of transformation. These psychic orcs instinctively channeled the Wah energy differently based on their clan affiliations. A snakebite weird boy might manifest powers through beast spirits, while an Evil Son's psyker could accelerate vehicles beyond physical limitations. This emergence of distinct clan identities wasn't just cultural, it was written into the very essence of what made an orc. The spores released by these early clan founders carried their specialized traits, ensuring that new generations would inherit not just genetic predispositions, but entire ways of thinking and fighting. The clans weren't just groups, they were the beginning of a new chapter in orc evolution. Long before the first clan banner was raised, ancient primordial orcs roamed the galaxy as mindless beasts. Yet deep within their fungal genetics lay dormant programming from the old ones, patterns and instincts waiting to be awakened. The catalyst came during a forgotten battle, when an orc later known as the First Boss discovered something extraordinary. Orcs who fought together in similar ways became stronger. Legends tell of how Da First Boss noticed that some of his warriors preferred fighting up close, while others were drawn to loud, explosive weapons. Instead of forcing them all to fight the same way, he organized them based on these natural inclinations. The results were immediate and devastating. His warband became exponentially more effective, each group excelling in their preferred style of warfare. The breakthrough sparked a revolution in orc society. Other warbands began experimenting with specialized groups, discovering that orcs naturally gravitated toward different aspects of warfare. Some were inexplicably drawn to machines, their minds grasping complex technology with surprising intuition. Others felt the call of speed, experiencing an almost religious ecstasy when pushing vehicles to their limits. This natural segregation took an unexpected turn when orc mechs made a startling discovery. They found that orcs fighting alongside others with similar tendencies actually grew stronger and more specialized over time. The Wah energy generated by these like-minded groups accelerated their development in specific directions. Speed-obsessed orcs became faster, tech-savvy ones developed greater mechanical insight, and close combat specialists grew even larger and more fearsome. The phenomenon reached a tipping point during the ancient Great Gathering, a massive convergence of orc warbands that would shape their society forever. As millions of orcs came together, they naturally sorted themselves based on their inclinations. The sheer concentration of Wah energy permanently altered their spores, encoding these specializations into future generations. These emerging proto-clans faced their first major test during the War of the Big Scrap, a massive conflict that erupted when traditional-minded orcs attempted to suppress the growing specialization. The resulting battles proved decisively that specialized groups working in concert were far more effective than undifferentiated hordes. The victory cemented clan structure as the dominant form of orc organization. The rise of the first great orc empires demonstrated the system's effectiveness. Each clan developed unique technologies and fighting styles that complemented the others. The Bad Moon's wealth funded technological advancement, while Death Skull's scavenging abilities ensured a steady supply of materials. Evil Sons provided rapid response forces, and Goths formed the brutal core of assault forces. Most fascinating was the emergence of clan-specific mutations. Orcs within each group began developing physical characteristics that suited their chosen roles. Speed freaks became leaner and more agile, while Goths grew bulkier and more muscular. These changes suggested the clan system wasn't just social organization, it was directing orc evolution itself. The system proved remarkably resilient to catastrophic losses. When orc empires fell, surviving spores carried clan-specific traits to new worlds, ensuring the knowledge and specializations would persist. This evolutionary strategy meant that every orc world, no matter how isolated, would develop similar clan structures. This natural development of clans wasn't just practical, it fulfilled something deep within the orcoid psyche. The Old Ones had engineered their creations to function best in specialized groups, and the clan system was the ultimate expression of this ancient programming. What began as simple battlefield efficiency became the foundation of all orc society, ensuring their species would remain a devastating force in the galaxy for millennia to come. The Battle of Octarius Prime demonstrated the devastating potential of clan cooperation. As Tyrannid swarms descended upon the orc stronghold, Warboss Grimtooth orchestrated a masterful defense. Evil Sons speed freaks deployed in lightning-fast hit-and-run attacks, drawing Tyrannid forces into kill zones where Goth heavy infantry waited. Death Skulls had modified captured bioweapons, turning the Tyrannid's own arsenal against them. The Bad Moon's elite units, equipped with experimental plasma technology, provided devastating fire support. The Siege of Port Sanctus revealed how clan specialization could crack even the most formidable defenses. Blood Axe commandos infiltrated the port's void shields, coordinating with Death Skull saboteurs who had studied the shield technology. As the barriers fell, Evil Sons' speed mobs rushed through the gaps, while Bad Moon's flash gits provided precision fire that eliminated key defensive positions. Snakebite beast handlers released their war creatures into the confusion, overwhelming the defenders from multiple directions. During the Mork's Revenge campaign, 5 separate clans united to destroy an entire Necron dynasty. Blood Axe tacticians identified the Tomb World's activation sequences, allowing Death Skull looters to target specific structures. Evil Sons bikers planted explosives at crucial points, while Goth assault troops engaged the awakening Necrons head-on. Bad Moons provided experimental weapons that could disrupt Necron reanimation protocols. The 3-day Wah showcased clan coordination at its finest. When Dark Eldar raiders struck an orc-held world, they found themselves caught in an intricate trap. Snakebite trackers had detected their approach, allowing Blood Axe commanders to position forces perfectly. Evil Sons' speed freaks matched the Dark Eldar's velocity, while Goth counter-assault teams struck their bases. The raiders' legendary speed and stealth meant nothing against perfectly coordinated clan warfare. The Rust Belt Rebellion saw orcs systematically dismantling an entire Adeptus Mechanicus Forge world. Death Skulls deciphered the Forge's defense patterns, while Evil Sons' racing squadrons run interference against Skitarii forces. Bad Moons deployed experimental electromagnetic weapons that disrupted machine spirits as Blood Axe strategic strikes eliminated key tech priests. The Forge world's sophisticated defenses proved useless against clan-based asymmetric warfare. Perhaps most impressive was the breaking of the Crimson Line, where Orc clans dismantled a Space Marine defensive position thought impregnable. Blood Axe observers noted the Marines' patrol patterns, allowing commando teams to infiltrate their perimeter. Evil Suns created diversions with high-speed attacks, while Death Skulls used scavenged Marine equipment to confuse battlefield communications. When Goff heavy infantry finally struck, the Marines found their carefully planned defenses compromised from every direction. The Void Dance of Durkak showed how clan coordination extended to space warfare. Evil Suns' attack ships executed complex maneuvers that drew enemy vessels into Death Skull minefields, while Bad Moon's cruisers deployed experimental weaponry. Blood Axe commanders had studied Imperial Navy tactics, allowing them to predict and counter standard response patterns. The resulting victory transformed naval doctrine across an entire sector. During the Green Flame Rebellion, clan cooperation reached new heights. As Imperial forces deployed virus bombs against Orc positions, Death Skull mechs quickly developed countermeasures using scavenged technology. Evil Suns vehicles, modified with these protective systems, could penetrate the contaminated zones. Blood Axe strategists identified key logistics nodes, while Bad Moon's elite units used modified weapons that could function in the toxic environment. The Ghost War of Tehran III demonstrated how clan specialization could overcome even psychic opponents. Fighting against Eldar Farseers, Blood Axe commanders developed strategies that exploited gaps in their precognitive abilities. Evil Sun's speed tactics proved too chaotic for accurate prediction, while Death Skull tech innovations disrupted Eldar psychic matrices. The resulting victory proved that clan-based warfare could triumph over even the most sophisticated enemies. These battles illustrate how clan specialization transformed Orc warfare from simple brutality into a sophisticated military system. Each clan's unique capabilities, when properly coordinated, created synergies that could overcome any defense. The true power of Orc clans lay not in individual strength, but in their ability to combine different approaches into an unstoppable whole. The Battle of Ullanor stands as the definitive moment that cemented clan structures within Orc society. This massive conflict demonstrated how specialized clan roles could create an almost unstoppable fighting force. Under Overlord Urlach Uruk's leadership, clan distinctions reached unprecedented levels of sophistication, with each group fulfilling specific tactical roles that complemented their natural inclinations. The catastrophic defeat at Ullanor paradoxically strengthened clan identity. Rather than destroying Orc society, the loss scattered clan knowledge across the galaxy. Surviving groups intensified their specializations, preserving crucial technical and cultural knowledge. This dispersal ensured that future WAG would have access to diverse tactical options and technological expertise. The emergence of Beast's WAG marked another transformative period for clan structures. His empire demonstrated how traditional clan rivalries could be superseded by a greater purpose while maintaining distinct identities. The Beast's defeat led to further refinement of clan roles, as surviving groups adapted their specialties to fill niches left by destroyed forces. Gazkul Thraka's rise revolutionized interclan dynamics through his might makes more might philosophy. His Wa proved that clan cooperation could exist without sacrificing individual traditions. This approach created cascading effects across Orc society as other war bosses began emulating his methods of managing clan relationships. The Octarius War forced radical adaptations in clan behavior. Fighting Tyranids required unprecedented levels of cooperation between traditionally rival groups. This conflict birthed new hybrid fighting styles, snakebite beast handlers working alongside Evil Suns speed freaks, Blood Axe strategists directing Goff assault forces. These combinations proved remarkably effective against the hive mind's adaptability. The Great Rift's appearance triggered an evolutionary leap in clan specialization. Warp storms isolated many Orc worlds, forcing clans to develop unique characteristics based on their new environments. The Void-touched Goffs emerged as specialists in fighting chaos forces, while Storm Redas mastered navigation through warp-tainted regions. These adaptations demonstrated the incredible flexibility of clan structures. The Plague Wars revealed another crucial aspect of clan identity: resistance to chaos corruption. While other races succumbed to Nurgle's influence, Orc clans maintained their coherence through strong cultural bonds. This resistance proved that clan structures served as more than simple military organization. They provided psychological and spiritual protection against external threats. The era Indomitus brought new challenges that tested clan adaptability. The emergence of specialized groups like Speedlord cults and cyborg hunters showed how clan structures could evolve to counter novel threats. These developments suggested that clan organization continued to serve its original purpose, ensuring Orc society remained effective and resilient. Recent conflicts in the Nachmund Gauntlet demonstrated the enduring value of clan specialization. When facing Necron tomb worlds, different clans seamlessly combined their expertise. Death Skulls reverse engineering Necron technology, while Evil Suns conducted hit-and-run attacks against their positions. This coordination highlighted how clan structures enabled Orcs to challenge even the most technologically advanced opponents. The ongoing evolution of clan structures reflects their fundamental importance to Orc society. Rather than rigid categories, clans provide flexible frameworks that allow Orcs to organize effectively while preserving crucial knowledge and traditions. This adaptability ensures their continued survival and success in an increasingly hostile galaxy. The Imperium's military doctrine underwent a radical transformation after studying Orc clan warfare. Inquisitor Cryptmon's controversial treatise, The Orcish Method, argued that the Xenos clan organization demonstrated superior adaptability compared to rigid Imperial command structures. Space Marine chapters, particularly the Raven Guard and White Scars, began incorporating Orc-inspired tactical flexibility into their operations. Mechanicus Tech priests, despite their doctrinal resistance, couldn't ignore the effectiveness of Death Skull improvisation. The Ryza Forge world established an entire division dedicated to studying Orc mechanical intuition. Their findings led to breakthroughs in adaptive machine spirits and self-repairing vehicles. Even the conservative Martian priesthood admitted that Orc technology contained principles worth understanding. The Tau Empire's military renaissance drew heavily from studying Evil Sun's mobility warfare. Commander Shadow Sun's famous Montka protocols borrowed concepts from Speed Freak attack patterns. Tau Fire warriors learned to replicate the unpredictable movement strategies that made Orc vehicles so difficult to target. Their success proved that even primitive Xenos warfare held valuable lessons. Eldari Corsairs, particularly the Void Dragons, adopted techniques observed from Blood Axe commanders. The infamous Ghost Strike maneuver, combining apparent retreat with devastating counterattack, emerged from studying Orc clan coordination. Even proud Craftworld strategists acknowledged that Orc warfare contained sophisticated principles beneath its brutal exterior. The Adeptus Arbites revolutionized urban pacification by studying how different Orc clans controlled territory. Their adaptive response doctrine mimicked the way Orc clans naturally divided responsibilities during city fights. This approach proved so effective that even the Administratum officially sanctioned its study, marking the first time Orc tactics received Imperial recognition. Perhaps most surprisingly, Chaos warbands began emulating Orc clan structure. The notorious Black Legion commander Varak the Resourceful organized his forces into specialized groups similar to Orc clans. His successes in the Vigilis campaign demonstrated how effectively the principle could be applied to any fighting force. The influence extended beyond military matters. Rogue trader dynasties studied Bad Moon's resource management techniques, discovering efficient methods for maintaining complex supply chains. The Van Saar gang of Necromunda based their weapon testing protocols on Death Skull practices, leading to remarkable advances in arms development. Imperial Navy academies quietly incorporated studies of Speed Freak Void warfare into their curriculum. The celebrated irregular approach doctrine used by Admiral Spire during the Gothic War drew heavily from Evil Sun's space combat techniques. His victories proved that unconventional Orc methods could succeed where traditional naval tactics failed. Even the dreaded Officio Assassinorum found lessons in Orc clan specialization. The Kalidas Temple's adaptive infiltration protocols borrowed concepts from Blood Axe commando operations. Their success rates increased dramatically after incorporating these principles into their training regimens. The greatest irony lay in how the Imperium's attempts to counter Orc clans led to adopting their methods. Forces that successfully fought Orcs often became more Orcy in their approach, more adaptable, more willing to improvise, more accepting of unconventional solutions. The Green Tide's greatest victory might be how it forced the galaxy to evolve, proving that even humanity's most despised enemies could become its greatest teachers. Tekbasha Gorblitz stared in wonder at his latest creation, a gun that shouldn't work. The barrel was bent at impossible angles, the ammunition feed resembled a twisted pretzel, and the power source was literally a box of angry squigs. Yet when he pulled the trigger, it unleashed a devastating beam of energy that melted through a Baneblade's armor like butter. This was Wah technology at its finest, defying physics through sheer belief and determination. The mystery of mech power manifests uniquely in each clan. Deathskull mechs possess an uncanny ability to repurpose any technology they encounter. During the siege of Andromax, they transformed a broken Imperial Titan into a fully functional war machine within hours, adding crude but effective improvements the Mechanicus deemed technically impossible. Their intuitive understanding of machinery transcends conventional physics, allowing them to create innovations that puzzle even the most learned tech priests. Evil Sons developed red paint technology, a phenomenon where their vehicles actually move faster when painted red. Their speed mechs craft engines that combine conventional mechanics with pure Wah energy. The infamous Defcarda racing circuits showcase machines achieving velocities that should tear them apart, held together by nothing but Orcish conviction and technical know-how. Bad Moons pioneered teeth economics, using Orc teeth as currency and power sources. Their wealthy mechs create weapons that literally feed on wealth, growing more powerful as more teeth are added. The flashiest Git competition drives continuous innovation, producing devices like the Teeth Eater Cannon that converts dental currency directly into destructive energy. Snakebites developed squig engineering, the art of breeding and modifying creatures for specific purposes. Their beast mechs create living weapons by combining different squig species, producing horrors like the Def Champa, a mobile siege engine made entirely of engineered organisms. These biological innovations often prove more reliable than mechanical alternatives. Blood Axe technical innovation focuses on tactical tech, devices that enhance their strategic capabilities. Their commando mechs specialize in stealth technology, creating purple paint camouflage that actually renders Orcs invisible through collective belief. They've even developed crude but effective countermeasures against advanced enemy systems. The most fascinating aspect is how clans combine their technical expertise. During the Octarius War, Deathskull reverse engineering merged with Evil Sun's speed technology to create Zoom Lutas, vehicles that could strip enemy machines apart at full speed. Bad Moons funded experiments combining snakebite biological knowledge with mechanical innovation, producing cyborg squigs that could hack enemy systems. Each clan's technology reflects their unique approach to warfare. Goth mechs focus on improving close combat capabilities, creating power claws that can tear through Terminator armor. Speed freaks develop increasingly improbable vehicles, each more dangerous than the last. Flash Gits continuously modify their weapons, adding unnecessary but impressive features that somehow make them more lethal. The true power of Orc technology lies in its adaptability. During the Plague Wars, mechs quickly developed anti-rot modifications to counter Nurgle's influence. In void battles, they create ships that combine the worst aspects of every clan's innovation: Bad Moon luxury, Evil Sun speed, and Deathskull scavenging all in one terrifying package. This technological revolution continues to evolve, Recent reports describe Orc devices incorporating Primaris marine tech, Necron materials, and even Tyranid bioweapons. Each clan adds its own twist to these innovations, creating an ever-expanding arsenal that proves increasingly difficult for their enemies to counter. The galaxy watches in horror as Orc technology grows more sophisticated, wondering what impossible innovations they'll create next. Deep in the shadows of Orc society lurk the Purple Boys, a mysterious clan whose existence remains debated among Imperial scholars. These enigmatic Orcs supposedly mastered the art of true stealth, not through technology or tactics, but through an unexplained ability to manipulate energy itself. Reports describe entire warbands vanishing without trace, only to reappear light years away with no explanation of how they traveled. The Ghost Tribe presents an even stranger mystery. First encountered during the Plague Wars, these Orcs appear semi-transparent and can phase through solid matter. Mechanicus studies suggest they've somehow merged with energy on a fundamental level. Their origins trace back to a catastrophic warp storm that engulfed an Orc world, but what emerged was something neither fully material nor entirely ethereal. Our legends speak of the Lost Clan, Orcs who achieved such technological sophistication that they transcended normal physical limitations. Imperial records hint at encounters with Orc forces wielding weapons that manipulated time and space. The few surviving witnesses describe battles where reality itself seemed to bend to Orcish will, suggesting these mysterious warriors had unlocked secrets even the old ones kept hidden. The Rustwalkers represent one of the most disturbing Orc mysteries. These clans, discovered in abandoned Forge worlds, appear to have merged with ancient machinery through unknown means. Their bodies incorporate technology from multiple species, creating hybrids that shouldn't function yet somehow achieve impossible feats of engineering. Even the Adeptus Mechanicus admits their existence challenges fundamental laws of physics. Deep beneath Ulinor's surface, archaeologists discovered evidence of the first clan, Orcs who retain direct genetic memory from their creation by the Old Ones. This ancient lineage supposedly possesses knowledge of their species' true purpose and capabilities. Their technologies combine biological and mechanical elements in ways that even advanced races struggle to comprehend. The phenomenon of shadow wars remains unexplained. These massive Orc migrations leave no physical trace, yet somehow affect reality around them. Worlds in their path experience strange phenomena, machinery developing Orcish characteristics, plants mutating into aggressive forms, and even non-Orcs beginning to exhibit Orcish behavior patterns. The mechanism behind these changes defies conventional understanding. Most intriguing are the Mind Boys, psychic Orcs who developed abilities beyond normal Weird Boy powers. Unlike their volatile brethren, these individuals demonstrate precise control over energy. Their existence suggests the Old Ones included sophisticated psychic potential in Orc genetics that normally remains dormant. Some theorists believe they represent the next stage in Orc evolution. The tech prophets pose another fascinating mystery. These mechs claim to receive visions directly from Gork and Mork, leading to technological innovations that shouldn't work yet somehow do. Their creations often incorporate elements from multiple clan traditions, producing hybrid technologies that exceed the sum of their parts. Their influence grows stronger as more of their prophesied inventions prove devastatingly effective. Hidden enclaves of Iron Boys reportedly exist in space hulks drifting through the void. These isolated communities have developed unique technologies adapted to void survival. Their ships incorporate living metal and organic components in impossible combinations, creating vessels that seem to heal and evolve. Their origins remain unknown, but their innovations spread through Orc society like a technological virus. The Dream Tribes represent perhaps the greatest Orc mystery. These clans appear to exist simultaneously in reality and the warp, their warriors phasing between dimensions at will. Their technology combines physical and psychic elements in ways that violate known laws of physics. Some scholars suggest they've discovered the true nature of energy, using it to transcend normal physical limitations. Mechanicus explorators recently discovered evidence of chronoclans, orcs who learn to manipulate time itself. Their technology appears crude, yet achieves effects that advanced races struggle to replicate. Reports describe battles where multiple versions of the same orc warband fight simultaneously, suggesting mastery over temporal mechanics that shouldn't be possible with their level of technology. The emergence of bioclans adds another layer to orc mysteries. These groups have developed symbiotic relationships with tyrannid organisms, somehow preventing the hive mind from controlling the absorbed biomass. Their hybrid creatures combine orcish resilience with tyrannid adaptability, creating weapons that evolve during battle. Their existence challenges fundamental assumptions about both species. These mysteries suggest that orc society contains depths that other races are only beginning to understand. Each discovered secret reveals new layers of complexity in their seemingly simple culture. As more evidence emerges, scholars face an uncomfortable question. What if orcs aren't regressing from their original form, but slowly awakening to their true potential? The true power of orc clans lies not in their individual strengths, but in their potential for devastating unity. Recent events suggest this potential is awakening. Across the galaxy, traditional clan rivalries give way to unprecedented cooperation. The Bad Moon's wealth now regularly funds Death Skull experiments, while Evil Sun's speed tactics complement Blood Axe strategy with frightening effectiveness. This evolution terrifies Imperial commanders. Reports describe orc forces displaying levels of coordination not seen since the beast's time. Each clan's specialization magnifies the other's strengths, creating combined armies that can challenge even the most sophisticated opponents. The Octarius War proved orcs could defeat tyrannids. Encounters with Necrons demonstrate their ability to counter advanced technology. More disturbing are signs that clan evolution accelerates. New specialized groups emerge, combining traditional roles in unexpected ways. The Ghost Tribes blend Blood Axe stealth with Weird Boy powers. Rustwalkers merge Death Skull, scavenging with Bad Moon technology. Each innovation makes orc forces more adaptable, more lethal. The greatest fear isn't what orc clans are now, but what they're becoming. The old ones designed them as a warrior species with untapped potential. As clans master their specialties and learn to work together, they move closer to their creator's vision. Each victory, each technological breakthrough, each successful adaptation brings them nearer to their true purpose. Inquisitorial reports warn of a critical threshold approaching. If clan cooperation continues to improve, if their specializations keep evolving, the galaxy may face something far worse than scattered Wa-s. The emergence of another beast becomes more likely with each passing day. Yet this time, the orcs would be even more sophisticated, their clan specializations more refined. In the grim darkness of the far future, the green tide rises. Orc clans grow stronger, their coordination more precise, their technology more sophisticated. Their enemies watch with growing dread, wondering if they're witnessing the awakening of what the orcs were always meant to be. Not just warriors, but the ultimate adaptable army, designed to wage war across eternity. The message becomes clear. Orc clans aren't just a quirk of their society, they're an engine of evolution, driving their species toward its intended form. And as that evolution accelerates, the galaxy holds its breath, knowing that the greatest Wak may be yet to come.